Welcome back to Desert Smoke Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Rocky Patel Royal Vintage. Has a nice purple label on it. Very soft brown cream sort of color. I get almost sort of a mintiness on the wrapper.
There is a kind of like a fresh smell to
yeah,
it.
Yeah, kind of a
bit floral, like
floral maybe. Yeah.
Mostly I just get just the typical tobacco scents and yeah, something floral. Not 100% sure what that is, but mine's a little beat up, but it's mostly just not from construction. I just think from storage. Nothing major. But,
yeah, construction too. The seams are visible, but you know they're well done. Cap and everything is great, so let's get it cut up and see what we think.
getting there, Wyatt?
Yeah.
Well, first off, my draw is extremely loose. Very light smoke. But plenty of it with each draw. Flavor-wise, I'm not getting a whole lot. Just some light tobacco flavors.
Yeah.
Maybe a tad bit of nuttiness on the finish, but that finish goes pretty quickly. But it's just, you know, right from the light. We'll see how it develops as we get closer down. But as of right now, kind of a loose draw, not a lot of flavor, and the smoke's very light and airy. It's not, you know, it's not heavy in any way.
Yeah. Well, first off, I said there wasn't any problem with the construction, but I cut right on the cap, and a whole bunch of the wrapper up here came off, so that might affect some of how I taste the cigar. I've had that happen on a lot of Rocky Patels. You know, the 92 especially, I'll cut it and I'll you know, do everything I can to measure the cut, and I still manage to take off some of the top of the wrapper. But anyway, yeah, mostly what Justin was saying, lots of woodsy, nut sort of flavors on the finish. But yeah,
Not a lot there right now.
Not a lot there right now. Yeah. This isn't going to be a full-bodied cigar. It's not going to be probably not even a medium-bodied cigar.
Yeah, I'm getting something very mild, mild in strength, mild in body.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it would just be the length of the cigar that might be the one determination on the strength of the smoke. But we'll keep going.
All right,
welcome back. We're about an inch into this Rocky Patel Royal Vintage. So far, not a lot of flavor change. Smoke output is fine. Justin was saying he has a real loose straw. I didn't think mine was particularly loose. It was all right. But yeah, smoke so far is fine. The finish lasts a little long. To me, it's a lot of that nutty, woodsy sort of flavor. But definitely still just a light, not even medium, you know, a mild cigar.
Yeah, I'd agree. Not a lot of flavors coming in for me. I'm just getting a light raw tobacco. A little bit of like a nuttiness on the finish. Nothing well defined, but just nice, mild. Definitely mild in body, mild in strength. My draw is loose, and it's started to snug up a little bit, which is nice. But draw's been okay. I've got one little runner here, but hopefully it'll take care of itself. Yeah, just kind of a mild, light on flavor, but still a very decent smoke. Let's get into the second half and approaching the midpoint.
Welcome back. We're about halfway, maybe a little above halfway through. So far, construction issues have kind of come into play again. I've got a couple of cracks in my wrapper here. Again, the cap, most of that wrapper has come off, and that's a problem that I've had with Rocky Patels before. So I don't know. I've just kind of come to expect it with Rocky Patels. But anyway, so far, very much a one-note smoke. What I said earlier still stands now. Kind of a mild, hasn't picked up in strength or anything like that. Not getting any sort of nicotine buzz from it, but just a great, morning cigar. If you don't want something that's real heavy or it's really complex, this would be a great morning cigar. Might get a shorter size, but other than that,
yeah, very mild tobacco and a bit of nuttiness on the finish. But like I said before, that finish doesn't last too long. Mild body, mild strength. I too have had some construction issues. I think it got damaged in transport when I came over here, I think, and so there's the first band is the only thing holding, I think, this part of the cigar together. So as I smoke down, I'm going to try to keep that on till the very last minute and hopefully save it. But other than that, yeah, it's a very mild cigar, something that you can enjoy in the mornings with coffee, or something where you ain't got a lot going on, where you could not. What I'm trying to say is you don't have to have food in your belly. Basically, this isn't going to give you a stomach ache or anything if you don't eat or make you feel sick. You ain't got a lot going on. You just want to smoke. I think this is a good choice. It isn't going to hurt you afterwards.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, when we get into the final third, welcome back. We're at the last third, the last stretch of this Rocky Patel Royal Vintage. So far, it's been pretty one note. I mean, not too much change. Something that I had for a little bit, no more than an inch, was not on the retrohale, not really in the taste, but just purely on the finish, was sort of this minty taste. And earlier I was talking about how this cigar kind of had a minty smell to it. It's not really minty, it's almost sort of like a menthol sort of
spearmint
taste.
Or just some very fresh.
Yeah, like a fresh leaf, something that has a little bit of a mint to it, but it's very pleasant taste. So far, like we have been saying, the cigar is a one note, one trick dog. So
yeah, for me it's always been very mild, just a mild tobacco flavor. For at least just over half of the stick, it was mild tobacco with a bit of a nuttiness in the finish that didn't last too long. And then I picked up that same menthol, fresh mint type of flavor, but again, it didn't last very long. Right now, I'm having a bunch of construction issues. I took off the band, and I have to hold the wrapper with my finger, want it to unravel on me. But not a bad stick. Mild in body, mild in strength, excuse me. But yeah, just a very nice smoke. If it's if you're interested in something that's very mild and isn't going to upset your stomach if you're smoking on an empty stomach, you can pair it pretty much. I would think almost anything would pair well with this, because the lightness of the smoke and the lightness of the flavors would probably, in my opinion, kind of bring out some of the flavors in whatever you're drinking, whether it be coffee or bourbon or soda. Whatever you drink with your cigars, I think it might pair pretty well with it. And that's all I've got.
Yeah, just a nice standalone, pretty much one note, little complexity cigar. Construction has a few issues, but other than that, decent smoke. So I think we're gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah. Till next time, smoke them if you got them.